It's affected everyone, from the greatest of all time to Back to the Future's Marty McFly, the first female Attorney General, and even one of the world's most influential religious leaders. So what's the diagnosis?
Parkinson's disease, is a neurological disorder.
In the United States, there are probably about 1 million patients with Parkinson's disease.
In this edition of Wealth on Health, we'll explore a world where Parkinson's disease is an illness of the past.
So she came with the symptoms. It's just in early or moderate stages of Parkinson's disease. And so I worked on her for her with this method, and when I saw her 6 months after, she wasn't like another person. She was thinner, happier, smiling with that bright future ahead of hers.
Is there a cure right around the corner for the shaking palsy?
I hope there's a cure, but there's all kinds of new stuff coming out now. So whether I'm cured or not, I'm encouraged about the future.
Hello and welcome to Wealth on Health. I'm your host, Jordan Bettinger. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at Parkinson's disease and what's being done to find a cure. The disease, discovered by Dr. James Parkinson in 1817, is a progressive neurological condition where certain nerve cells become impaired. The patients who suffer from Parkinson's face numerous obstacles, and they have to overcome them every single day. Imagine your life consisted of twitches, tremors, and even loss of movement and speech. This is reality for a Parkinson's patient.
Yeah, I have definitely good days and not so good days. I also have, throughout the day, good times when my medications are all on and working well, and then off times when the medications are wearing off.
I cannot concentrate on reading anymore. I'll read a little bit and I get very restless, so as a result, I like to watch a movie at night. That distracts me more. But I love to read, and I miss that.
And it's kind of weird. People ask me how many times a day do you how much time do you spend thinking about Parkinson's? And I'd say it comes to my mind about 30,000 times a day.
It's hard to watch someone you love endure these devastating symptoms right before your eyes.
Everything changes. Everything changes. You don't know from one minute to the next what is going to be presented. You can't really plan ahead very well. It's a very much day-to-day type of life.
People with the disease fall out of their norm of being active in the community, and they can become depressed and they can become isolated.
The cause of Parkinson's remains a mystery, even to those who study it closely.
There is no definite cause. So what we call etiology or cause, we do not know the cause.
We don't know if it's because of environmental issues or if it's because of stress issues or what it's from, but what we do know is that it is a disease that you can live with.
Although the why is still unknown, the when can be traced back nearly 2 centuries.
Early on, of course, we didn't know why patients had Parkinson's disease, and it was called the shaking palsy initially. It was first described by James Parkinson, and the original paper at the turn of the century, the last century, was Parkinson's shaking palsy.
According to the Parkinson's Disease Society, more than 4 million people are believed to have Parkinson's disease worldwide. Roughly a quarter of these patients live in the U.S.
In the United States, there are probably about 1 million patients with Parkinson's disease. And there are probably about another 1 person that has a disease for everyone that's absolutely diagnosed. It is not an uncommon disease.
We know that there are 100,000 of them at a minimum diagnosed every year. Well, that's an exponential number.
These patients face severe challenges, both physically and emotionally.
I was working 60, 70 hours a week, and between the work and now having Parkinson's, not having the energy that I had before, it just got to be too much.
In addition to the most commonly prescribed medication for Parkinson's patients, levodopa, treatments such as deep brain stimulation are now available to help keep symptoms under control. Stay tuned after the break as we uncover the everyday miracles brought to patients by this treatment known simply as DBS.
In fact, today I saw 3 patients that have had DBS just within the last 2 weeks, and they are doing great.
Welcome back to this edition of Wealth on Health. As technology advances in our ever-changing world, so do the treatments available for deadly diseases like Parkinson's. Enter deep brain stimulation, a major advance in doctors' ability to improve the condition of Parkinson's patients. We sat down with Dr. Dee Silver, a neurologist and movement disorder specialist at Scripps Memorial Hospital La Jolla, to find out more about DBS as well as other treatments being used to fight the shaking palsy. Deep brain stimulation has been a significant breakthrough for the treatment of Parkinson's disease, and Dr. Silver can definitely attest to the wonders that DBS has done.
Deep brain stimulation has been a major advance, and the reason is because once the patient is optimized in their pharmacological therapy, that means they've got a good robust response to L-Dopa, they're doing well, you got the medicines as best you can, then DBS will really help these patients. It will reduce their dosage of L-Dopa about 55%. It will improve on time, which is where the drug wears off. It will reduce dyskinesias, help tremor. It's very beneficial. In fact, today I saw 3 patients that have had DBS just within the last 2 weeks, and they are doing great.
The immediate effects of DBS can be life-changing for a Parkinson's patient.
At one point during his surgery, they turned the Activa on, and the tremors completely stopped. My jaw loosened, and I hadn't realized that my jaw, was doing that, and it was just amazing.
The major symptoms I had was rigidity, so I couldn't. If you're watching my hands at that time, this is about as good as I could go with my hands. Since the Activa DBS, I've been able to